What's up, guys? It's Eric. I'm the founder of Ave Deus, a new digital marketing agency specifically for substance use and mental health treatment centers across the country. And I am excited to announce that not only are we launching our business fully, I have been doing some side work and some specific partnerships over the past year. Now I am officially going out and creating this thing and really trying to build it from the ground up. And part of that bootstrap movement is, of course, launching my own podcast and blog to kind of create a more collaborative experience and involve not only current clients, but anybody who may be interested in coming on with us to learn what I'm all about, what we're all about, see what we're doing, and decide if that's something you want to be a part of to join us. So I'm super, super excited. And this is a bootstrap movement. We're starting it from the ground up. I do not have a whole lot of funds or investors to back me, but I do have the framework put into place. I have been doing some work over the past year every now and then, and I'm excited to bet on myself and really go out there and see how far we can take this and what we can do. For those of you who know me, and even if you don't, a little bit about myself. Over the past 2 years, I've been with Plugged In Recovery, doing their marketing for them, been building from the ground up the podcast. I had my own podcast for a while, and now I do one specifically branded for Plugged In Recovery. Social media, TikTok accounts, Facebook, Google, all of that good stuff that falls under the umbrella of digital marketing. Over the past 2 years, I've been really growing in the space, kind of sharpening my tools and gaining more tools and networking and meeting people along the way. And I'm just super excited to kind of launch this next chapter because I do have a vision. I speak to close friends of mine and current people that I do some work with. And my idea is collaboration. My idea is, how do we get as many people involved in the space as possible? You know, we see a lot of competition, right? And I get it. It's business and everybody is in competition with everybody. But at the same time, ask any treatment center, any outpatient, you guys know from your own programs, a big driver of business is partnerships and referrals, and that's collaboration. And I want to see that on the digital marketing side as well, when it comes to content creation, when it comes to building each other's web presence together collaboratively, right? Why can't we not only boost our own authority scores, but also backlink partnership websites as well, and raise the overall core of the business. So not only are you succeeding and increasing your web presence, but your partners are as well. And it's a very advantageous thing. So that's kind of like my vision of what I would like to accomplish. And I'm just super excited to finally take this leap and really go out there and see how far we can take it and what the limit is. Because I do think there's such a opportunity in the treatment space that I just don't see being capitalized on. We see a lot of digital marketing agencies that are working with treatment centers that do a phenomenal job with SEO and PPC campaigns, and they're doing very well on that aspect of things. But I think what we really could be focusing a little more on, and where there's a huge opportunity, is in the social media part of things. We see that more and more people are reaching out for help and looking for resources on TikTok, and they're doing the same on Facebook and Instagram. And there's many programs out there that rank very highly on Google, and they have a tremendous authority score, and they've been established for years and years and years, but they may be lacking with the social media, the digital content, the client testimonials, the alumni testimonials, the employee testimonials and spotlights, content that comes directly from them, that reaches beyond just their stay with you at any level of care. That's something where people can stay involved and stay active in your community at any point of their journey throughout the entire continuum. And so I really do love that aspect of things. And I think that by creating a strong brand presence on social media and creating a collaborative and interactive social media pages within your company that encourages involvement from the alumni, that could attract people to your program. I know for a fact, since I started with Plugged In Recovery, we've had so many inquiries for sober living and treatment that come from Facebook, that come from TikTok. People find our testimonials, or they find the content that we're putting out there, and then they DM us and they're asking for more information. So it is a lead generation source. But I think most importantly is the branding aspect of being able to capture your brand's identity and to be able to put that out there across all of your platforms in a way that's synchronized, in a way that it all kind of feeds off of each other. And if we have enough centers that put a focus on that, and they all start creating their own social media presence, and they all start creating their own identity and their own brand, then there's opportunities for collaboration, where now, let's just say Treatment Center A and Treatment Center B, they're good referral partners. Treatment Center A offers detox. Treatment Center B is a residential, and they work with each other frequently because they trust each other. They have that long-standing relationship, right? Well, let's say that we go in and simultaneously we start working with Treatment Center A and Treatment Center B, and they've been established for a while. They have a very good website authority. They rank very well. So we kind of maintain that, maybe put a little bit more into some paid backlinks and things like that. But we primarily put the focus on social media and branding. And we start capturing the identity of the staff, the longtime BHT that all the alumni love and want to talk about. And when they come back for the alumni meetings, that's the one person they want to see, or the therapist that has such an impact and has been there since you guys opened, and everybody loves this therapist. We all have those staff members and employees that are making a high level impact, and they're part of the identity of the center. What if we start working with both treatment centers and we capture that identity and we capture that camaraderie and that culture, right? And we build a social media campaign that embodies that culture. Maybe it's fun loving, or maybe it's a little more like, let's get down to the serious aspect of things. Whatever that looks like, we capture that culture, that identity, and we create social media campaigns that support that narrative. And we build a narrative around each program. And what ends up happening is, what we can accomplish at that point is, we have a emerging, blossoming social media branding presence here at Treatment Center A, and we also have that at Treatment Center B. And now, because they're such good referral partners, and because they're such good partners and they've worked with each other for a while, we start collaborating between the two social media platforms, right? So now we start doing collaborative content with Treatment Center A and Treatment Center B, and we're posting them across both of the platforms and tagging each other. Now the vision of collaboration is in full effect, and that's kind of the thing that I think is missing from the industry right now, is that there's a huge, tremendous opportunity to start collaborating and simultaneously building all of our programs up together on digital platforms. And what that does is that expands the reach of your program and your partners' programs, which will only deepen the relationships, increase qualified referrals, and ultimately allow you guys to get more people in the door and help more people, which is what everybody's in the business for, is to help people recover from addiction and alcoholism. And so that's kind of a high level overview of what I envision Ave Deus being able to do, is being able to understand the culture, the identity, the internal stuff that makes your center, your program, what it is, the people, right? The backstory. If you've been open a while, the success stories, the alumni that went through your full continuum and now they're a case manager at your center. Those things all are baked into the recipe of what makes your center your center. And we can capture that and display that on your social media sites in a way where people it makes you more accessible to be found by a broader audience, and they see that and it sparks something in them where they want to be a part of that, right? Maybe it's because they need help, maybe it's because they just want to join and help and support. Whatever that looks like, that's the vision. That's what I think is something that we haven't in the industry as a whole focused enough on, is that wide open opportunity to create audiences on social media platforms and then collaborate and combine them in collaborative content to expand the reach of everyone. And there's no downside to that. It's only beneficial to everybody involved. So that's kind of the vision. That's kind of what I foresee a big part of what our vision is and what our mission is that exactly. And obviously, we still have to focus on the bread and butter of what digital marketing is. And it's a lot of that really dry analytic reports and taking a look at where to put certain ad spend on your PPC campaign, stuff like that. But that's all great. But I do think that what I feel would make Ave Deus, what would make us unique, would be the aspect of really trying to push the agenda of building a strong brand identity on social media and then creating an organic following from that, and then collaborating audiences with your referral partners. And so you can simultaneously grow your platforms, and that only will be advantageous for everybody. So that's a little bit about me, a little bit about my vision for Ave Deus. I'm super excited to really embark on this journey and see how far that we can take it. A little bit about some other services we offer. We do full website building, depending on where you want to host it and exactly what you want out of it. We do user experience and user interface optimization on your website. So we're always making sure that load times are good, refresh rates are good, and that the overall experience with the layout is easy to navigate and use. We consistently do optimization specifically on the home page and additional information pages to make sure every time Google crawls it, we're trying to hit on as many keywords as possible to boost our rankings. We do a lot of backlink campaigns where we can go in, depending on what your budget is, and get you backlinked on very high authority sites. So that raises the credibility of your website faster, which would ultimately help you on your PPC campaigns with winning those larger bids because you have a better authority. And we do content creation, podcast production, both pre and post production, audio mastering, all that kind of stuff. And we're just kind of a full digital marketing agency. And I think that what you'll find from us is, it is just me at the moment. and having that bandwidth to really focus on the individualization of each client and capture what that true brand identity looks like and what truly makes you you, and then putting that into the content, into everything that we do. So everything has this really familiar feel to it. And it feels like everything is connected, and it doesn't feel like this part is separate from this part. It's like you can go to your Instagram page, your Facebook page, your TikTok page, and it has the same overall feel as your website does. It has the same overall feel as it does when I knock on your front door and I take a tour of your place. Everything is based off of that idea of culture and identity, which is something that I love, doing, and I'm super excited to start partnering with people to really make that those dreams a reality. So eventually, I would like to get to a point where I can get A.T.E About the Experience into a studio. But until then, like I said, we're bootstrapping it. And that's another exciting thing, is that you guys are going to be on this journey every step of the way, as I am, right? And so we're starting off with Zoom recorded little podcast episodes here and there. And eventually what the vision is that we do secure some studio time. And I would like to start inviting other people in the industry on so we can talk about some things that are super important in the digital marketing space that are coming up and becoming very real realities when it comes to the potential of Google being broken up for the monopoly that it has on search engines and the internet, and what that means for the emergence of AI search engines such as OpenAI and others, all like ChatGPT search. All of those things are very real possibilities that could be very sooner than you think. And it's not unrealistic to think that in the next 12 to 24 months, we see something where governments across the globe break up Google because of the monopoly that they have on the search, internet search. And that opens the door for all of these AI companies that are building their own search engines that are powered through AI, and will give you an entirely different experience. And what that means is that you'll have to optimize your website for those search engines, and what those search AI crawlers are going to be looking for is different than what Google is right now, because the way people interact with those search engines is going to be different. There's going to be the elements of voice search where it's no longer I search this and then it just shows me like the top sponsored results and everything else. It's going to be more intuitive than that, and the search engine's going to act as its own AI bot, where it's feeding you information not only based off of the experience that you've had with it up to that point and the knowledge that it has on you, but vice versa, the knowledge that it has on that website, on your website, and the knowledge that it has on your voice and how you portray yourselves online. And so it's going to be like an entirely new experience, entirely new world. And those are things that are very real realities that could be coming up a lot faster than we think, based off of how things go here. And that's what I'm excited about. And I think that's what About the Experience is really going to be, is a platform where we're just keeping current with digital marketing trends. We're keeping current with current softwares and technologies, and we're keeping current with what we're seeing from our client base, who, if we bring on guests, what they're seeing from their client base. And it's all just educational, and it's really about letting you guys know what's happening in the now, because it's very easy to get caught up in the a better way to explain it is like, if you're a treatment center, I'm sure at one point in time you hired an SEO company or you hired a digital marketing company that fed you, for months and months and months, different impression rates and click rates and all of that. And it all looked okay and like it was working on paper. But then you took a look at your total ad spend, and then you took a look at your ROAS, and you realized that you weren't actually getting admissions that were staying and you were billing for in your treatment center from those campaigns. So although you did have a higher volume of impressions and clicks and your exposure was out there, you weren't necessarily converting or utilizing that exposure to get qualified leads that were actually coming into your program, staying in your program, that you were able to bill for and generate revenue with, right? And that's a common story between so many amongst every treatment center. I don't think anybody from the first bet started working with the company and got exactly what they wanted. And a lot of that is because digital marketing is ever changing. As soon as an algorithm change hits, that automatically is going to reset everyone back to square zero, and it's all about re-optimizing, requesting recrawls on the website so you can try to get that authority back up. And I get that part of it, but a lot of the time I think it's because some agencies, they get so big that your 5 hours a week that they're billing for is not a very intentional or fruitful 5 hours a week, and they start just maintaining certain campaigns instead of really trying to identify the trends. And then you find yourself a year later with a 10 to 15 to 20,000 ad spend a month, and you take a look at the actual statistics and you didn't really get any qualified leads or generate any real revenue from all of those thousands of dollars that you had spent. And so, you know, and again, if a Google algorithm change can dramatically affect your performance on PPC and search engines, imagine what that's going to look like if all of a sudden Google is required to fragment and relinquish the 85% hold they have on internet search, and other companies come in that are building an entirely new way, reimagining search engines backed by the AI software that we currently are just using every now and then to rewrite an email, or, you know, whatever you are using AI for in the very elementary sense when it comes to ChatGPT. The vision for it and what it's going to be is so much more, and the impact that's going to have on your business and your performance in the digital space is it's going to rattle the entire world, not just the treatment industry, but it's going to rattle how business is done everywhere. And if you at least are, if you're a marketing person currently at a treatment center, or if you're an owner, I would just recommend, I don't think it's something where you have to just start dumping a bunch of money and say, oh, our website needs to be AI ready. But I do think that if you have your marketing person, you should start at least getting up to speed on what's going on, because these are all very realistic things that could eventually become reality. And the treatment centers that took small, measurable actions to optimize their website for OpenAI or Otter or whatever that looks like, those are the ones when these AI search engines are starting to crawl and they're starting to learn the websites that already have information that is there for those AI bots to use and learn from. Guess what? That's what AI is going to learn from, is your site that has that information already on there, that's already readily available, so that when these search engines drop, whose site do you think is going to perform better? The one that was involved in the learning process for that specific engine's AI crawler that is going to be optimizing the results for the users and generating the results. So you see how that works? If you optimize your website to be in a position to feed the AI bots information, they will learn from that information. And then when they go live with that search engine, the websites that already had the information there for the bots to learn from will be at the top of the search results, because the engine will recognize that as a more credible source because it had more time learning about you, right? And then when the floodgates open and they're like, oh no, Google isn't the only thing anymore, and people are starting to use different search engines, and then you start trying to optimize after it's already kind of happened, you're going to be behind all the other websites that started implementing that information in a format where those AI search engines could really digest it and understand it. So there is a benefit of getting ahead of that, but it's not something that's like a super immediate, but it is coming up. But not, and again, I'm just rambling, but yeah, that's kind of like the overall vision. The overall vision is to just have a forum where we talk about a bunch of cool stuff. I'm a huge drone guy, so I'm sure in upcoming episodes I'm going to talk about all the new stuff that's in the drone world. I'm currently getting my drone pilot license, so I can kind of really like dive into that. But yeah, it's just everything digital marketing, everything content creation, which is cool because it's specifically for treatment centers. It's specifically for this industry niche that when you look at the KPIs and you look at what ROAS looks like for a treatment center is entirely different than other services or product-based companies. And so you have to work with a company that understands that dynamic and understands what are the actual data points that are adding to the revenue that we're generating, right? And not only that, but is our wider exposure leading to increased calls, which we, even if they're unqualified, is surging our outbound referral power, and that's another thing, right? Where it's like, can we run campaigns that even if we're a commercial out-of-network facility, if your campaign is returning a increase in the call volume for Medicaid, people with Medicaid, for example, that's only going to positively benefit your company, because now you can then qualify those leads the best you can and then refer them to partners in your network that will then, in return, when they get calls for people that have commercial policies, they will have you in mind because you have sent them an increased volume of people on Medicaid because of your web presence generated that call traffic, generated that volume. So there's just, there's so many, now I'm just kind of rambling, but I mean, that's just like the vision, right? And I'm super passionate about it. I love it. I love getting into the weeds of looking at what treatment centers are doing, where are they getting these backlinks? How does this center have a 45 authority score and this one has a 5, right? What are they doing differently? What does that website look like, right? And like, what does their social media look like? Can I go on their YouTube page and can I see a introductory video of all the leadership? Can I see client success testimonials? Can I see employee highlights and recognitions of the people that are working there? Can I see a video of the clinical director talking about their experience and what they bring to the table? Can I learn about their approach to EMDR on your YouTube page? Or do I have to call and talk to an admissions person that I may not fully trust? There's the benefit, right? If I go onto a page and I can see there's one-on-one interviews with all the staff, and I have an idea as far as, okay, this is how the therapists run their groups, and this is how they do this, and this is what I can expect. The transparency creates credibility, and the credibility increases trust. And when people trust, that's where they want to go to treatment. And so the more transparent you can be online, the higher credibility you'll have, which more people will trust you, right? Because it's one thing to say, yes, we do equine therapy, And it's another thing to go on your website and see an actual video of where you do equine therapy, see an actual video of what that experience looks like. Am I going to get on the horse or am I not? What exactly is that curriculum? What does that look like? Because every place is different. And having that media and everything posted online, the more information I can find out for myself prior to calling, the higher chance I have of trusting who I'm talking to when I finally do get on the phone. It's the same thing with Carvana, right? It's like everyone said, I don't trust car salesmen. They're ripping me off, blah, 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 right? And then all of a sudden something like Carvana comes around where they're like, you don't have to talk to a car salesman. What we'll do is you just submit all your information. Our underwriting team will review it. They'll email you back anything that you need to do. And then once you know what you're approved for and what your spend limits are and what your down payment rates will be, then you can just browse for yourself on the platform, order the car, and we'll go ahead and get it to you, right? That same concept, I believe, can be applied to treatment and should be applied to treatment. Why is it that in 2024, treatment centers are still gatekeeping information because they think the less information and the more vague that they are on their website will implore you to call. And once you call, they will just have to take whatever you tell them at face value, and you have a better chance of closing that sale. I don't think that's true. I think the exact opposite. I think that if we're able to increase transparency by putting as much content online to showcase the modalities, your staff, what the experience looks like, the real-time footage of this is what the facility looks like. This is who our staff is. These are testimonials of people who have been through our program. This is what our equine therapy, this is where it's held. This is what you can expect. When you can capture all of that and have it readily available for people to consume on their own, they will be more inclined to call you because they feel more of a participant in that process because they have an idea of what to expect prior to calling you. So the same reason why places like Carvana and Drive Time and CarMax all switched to the same model of online car buying because people do not want to have to deal with car salesmen. Treatment is the same way. The more you can put on your web presence online and people can find out for themselves and physically see it with their own eyes, and they don't have to talk to an admissions person that they probably have a distrust in, the better results you're going to see. And you're going to see less resistance because those walls will already start coming down before they even call you, right? And instead of them approaching your admissions team like they're a used car salesman and they're trying to figure out, poke the holes in your story and try to figure out, is there really going to be a pool there? What exactly does that mean? Like whatever that looks like, right? Those walls are down because they've seen it for themselves. And now they're just asking intuitive questions because they genuinely want to attend your program. It's incredible. It's incredible to see where we can shift everything and get all the gatekeeping out of the industry. Transparency, brand identity, culture. Those are all things that people are now finding out about you online. Online is where they find out about you. They read the Google reviews. They look at the images you have on Google. They see if you have a social media page, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at that and they're going to see, do these people post? What are they posting, right? People, by the time they call you in today's world, already have an idea of who you are based off of the information they found out about you online. And the less information you have online for them to digest and understand, the less likely they are to call you because the less credible you are. Nobody trusts a company that doesn't have a website, that's not on Google. You can't find a phone number for them. we all know those companies, right? How are you still in business, right? Treatment space is evolving, and people are becoming more aware of their insurance benefits. They're more aware of the modalities that are being offered, and they want to be more involved in the decision-making process of their treatment because of the vast variety of options that they have. They can go to any state and receive ketamine therapy, trauma-informed therapy. They can. There's the net of recovery has widened, and people's access to information and treatment has widened. And the way to stand out and build presence and credibility is through transparency. And that all happens online before they ever even call you. Anyways, I'm gonna finish that rant. I'm glad I got that off my chest because I love it. And like I said, guys, I'm passionate about the space, and I truly believe that with Ave Deus, we are going to make an impact with the people that we do work with. And I'm just excited to see what that looks like and grow this thing and really try to gear ourselves up for what's going to come over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So anyways, if you are watching this, I appreciate it so much. We do have the blog on the website as well. I'll be posting on social media, everything else, guys. But thank you so much for all the support. And I should have another episode out within the next couple weeks or so. So I appreciate you guys. Subscribe to us. And if you have any questions about digital marketing for your treatment center, just feel free to reach out. You can find us avedeus.co, or and all my information's on the website. Thank you guys so much. Bye.